I don't remember having to get so close to this before. Oh shit, we're recording.
Yes.
So much
Here
for
we are.
3, 2, 1, action.
It's
Okay.
the 3, 2, 1 action.
We're
You were
here.
looking at your mic. Okay. 2 of the most common problems we solve. These are things that people come to us like, out of all the questions that we get, these are 2 of the biggest. And one of them is, I want to build muscle and I want to lose fat, right? That's kind of what everybody wants. Or I'm working
Those are
out.
statements, though. They're not questions.
Yeah, I know. I knew you were going to, as soon as I said question, I'm like, he's going to call me on that. And the other thing is that people, more like problems than questions. And the other one is people will come to us and say, look, I'm working out, I'm eating well, I feel like I'm doing everything I'm supposed to be doing, but nothing's happening. And now I'm getting frustrated. And it's kind of like, why am I still doing this? So
Why are we still talking about this? This is the same problems we've talked about this shit.
I know, but it's problems that are like still coming up every single day. I mean, almost everybody we talk to.
Yeah, but, so we have to address why people keep. It's like, how do I say this? You see, my methylphenidate hasn't kicked in yet, so I don't know that my filter is 100% on board. To me, that shit sounds like somebody who constantly is getting arrested and wondering why they keep getting in trouble. And it's like, stop breaking the law, asshole. Like, stop doing the bad shit. That's the problem. I mean, it's what you think is going to happen.
Right.
I don't, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Why?
Well,
Why?
and too, I mean, a lot of the
Why
people
is everything so expensive nowadays? Stop voting blue. That'll help. That's a great place to start. Anyway.
Well, I mean, a lot of the people, I mean, and true, I've worked with a ton of people recently who are working out every day and they're dieting and they're like, but why is nothing happening? And it's, I mean, that's part of the problem, even though they don't realize it. So what we did,
from patience.
Yeah. And what we did was we made 2 guides that can kind of help you problem solve through this. I'm not going to go through them like step by step because they're free. You can get them in the notes on this description if wherever you're watching this. And they're instant downloads. It tells you exactly how to build a strength training guide based on that goal of building muscle and losing fat. It tells you exactly what to do with your macros and your nutrition, literally step by step. So that's something that you can go get on your own. But this is going to be more of those methods behind those guides and why they work and how they have worked, so that once you get to the guides, you know kind of what's going on.
How is this guide different than anything else that people could find?
You know, this one is, I mean, it can't get any more step by step. Like, the only thing more straightforward than this is a literal done for you plan, which we also have if you don't want to do it yourself.
Stop eating like an asshole. Page 2, shut the fuck up. Stop complaining. Page 3, go back to page 1. Page 4, go back to page 2. Page 5, yes, it is your fault. Page 6, I'm sure you can find it cheaper. Not my problem. Page 6, go back to page 2 just because it's my favorite. What fucking page am I on? Page 7, go back to the table, your table of contents. Go to the chapter that best describes your bullshit. Page 8, shut up. Page 9, fat is good if it's on an ass.
Oh my God.
All right, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Anyway,
okay.
No, so a guide, yes. But why is our guide better?
I mean,
we could say that our guides are simple and they're this, or that. But I think that in my experience,
listen, you're right. You can Google anything.
I'm talking, motherfucker.
I'm sorry. Gosh.
The problem is people want free shit, but they don't want free shit. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But, we talked about that before. Like, free shit just don't work and whatnot.
Yes.
And then they want the shit like right away. And then, so like the irony is that if it's something for free, People are like, well,
Mm-hmm.
you get what you pay for, right? And then but then the shit that is expensive, which by that logic would suggest it works wonderfully, they just don't want to
Mm.
pay for
Yeah.
it. What does that mean, right? And
Yeah.
then if it's something that's worthwhile and it takes time to build, it's like, I don't have the patience for all that. This is taking too long. If it doesn't happen right away, well, what the fuck? This isn't working. This
Yeah.
isn't. So it's
And you
like,
know what?
you could Google, YouTube, you could do all that shit. We've said that a bazillion times. And we've got more than one guide out there. It says, how many different ways can we say to do stuff? And unfortunately, there's no one doctor, no one nutritionist, no one trainer, nobody that can ever, you are that person.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So if every other guide is out there that says step 1, step 2, step 3, do this, you know what I'm saying? Like, we could
Mm-hmm.
probably go and say, all right, if you work 40 hours a week at a desk job, chapter 1, that's you. If you work, let's say if you work 40 hours a week or less, desk job, and you commute, chapter 1's for you. If you work 40 hours a week or less at home, chapter 2, that's for you. If you work 40 hours and 10 minutes, 40 hours and 1 minute, and commute, chapter 3, that's you. If you know what I'm saying? We could probably go super, super, like, and if we went that detailed, if you can understand from that example how ridiculous that sounds, the accountability is directly attached to the outcome of this journey for you. So you're the one in control.
Yeah.
So, now I'm done.
And I mean, and the people listening probably fall into a couple different categories, right? And that's like what you just said. People that want it, but not bad enough to actually do something about it. People that know already what they have to do and they're just not doing it. But like, we're really talking to the people that, the Wolverines out there, the ones who know that they want this. They've already tried for it. It's not working the way that they feel like it should be working. And they're willing to take whatever they have to do to create a plan that's going to make it work.
Yeah.
And so those are the people that this guide is really for, because it's not one of our more simple guides, right? This guide is 13 pages long, and it legit goes step by step that says, each week you should have this many strength training days. This is how you can split up the muscle groups. These are the types of exercises you can do, how many recovery days you should have. It gets down into like the nitty gritty of it. So legit, all you have to do is plan your workouts. We've given you a template and everything. So it's really for the people who are willing to put the work in to figure it out.
Yeah. Side note, the creatine mixes really well with almond milk.
Does it?
Yeah, I have a scoop of it. You can't really see. I don't want to spill it everywhere.
It's just creatine and milk?
No, what the fuck? No.
Did you put protein in it too?
Yeah. That's my protein shake is almond milk and our protein, our whey protein, and a scoop of the creatine.
Yes. I have all the new stuff on the way. I'm super excited to try it.
I don't have any new stuff. Can I get some new stuff? Fuck.
Yeah. All right.
What I do have is metal shards in my sweater.
Ew, that's not good. Is it scratching you?
That's how I'm realizing that it's there. This has been washed too. And there's like, look at that. Oh God, see it? Can you see that?
No, the screen's blurry.
Oh, I'm gonna hold this other one up. It's like the size of a fingernail.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was.
Is your whole body cut up?
I mean, it used to be in my 20s. I was ripping some motherfucker. Nowadays, not so much. and mud. Look at this. Mud dries like a panty stain.
Ew.
Yeah. Anyway.
Okay, so now I think it's interesting because a lot of people who are like, I'm doing all the things, I'm working out, I'm dieting, nothing's happening. It's like not always, first of all, it's not always that you're necessarily doing something wrong. If you're working out every day and you're eating healthy, like there's nothing wrong about that, but the way that you're doing it just isn't right for the goal that you have. Like if you're saying I'm working out every day and I'm dieting and I'm not losing fat, like, okay, well, you're missing something then. Maybe what you're doing isn't wrong, but you're missing something. And then a lot of people, the first thing they go to is like, oh, well, maybe it's my hormones, or I should be trying intermittent fasting or keto. And it's like 9 out of 10 times, none of that's the issue. The issue,
Okay, go ahead.
the issue often ends up being that your workouts are too intense. You think that you have to move more and eat less in order to lose fat. And sometimes that's not the case, right? Like if you're boot camping yourself to hell every single day, you're
Right.
huffing and puffing, you're under fueling because you feel like you need to cut calories to lose fat. Now all you're doing is exhausting your body, you're killing your nervous system, and you're not fueling it enough to replace it. And at that point, now your metabolism is just slowing down because it's trying to focus
They
on
get
keeping you
confused
alive.
between
Yeah.
the difference. There's a difference between weight loss and fat loss.
Yes.
Okay, so I think if you gotta ask yourself. I think when you are looking at a body transformation goal,
Mm-hmm.
all right, and you say, okay, it's time for me to make a change, right? I highly encourage you to look at where were you, what were you doing when this revelation came to light, right? Was it that pair of pants you tried on? Was it a comment from someone you haven't seen in a while? Was it, looking on Facebook or whatever and seeing an ex that, has moved on to somebody else? Was it you not being able to do something, playing with the kids, carrying or loading from the grocery store and you're exhausted? Not sleeping well? Was it a doctor that said, man, if you don't change, you're going to die? These are all things that you need to really dissect and decide and figure out why and what about it. What did it do to affect you that way? Because if it was an emotional response to something, I'm going to say petty only for a lack of a better term, but if it was an emotional response in terms of pettiness, like you saw an ex or, something like that, or somebody said something crude, something like that. Like that's making a decision out of emotion can get you people into trouble, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same, the irony is behind that is if it's something that came from a doctor that can also give you a rash, decision-making process.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, if you can at least compartmentalize which or what those two terms mean,
Mm-hmm.
you'll know night and day. You'll know the difference between, because they have two different ways of going about, getting them executed
Mm-hmm.
clearly. And yes, while they're, if the scale weight, can you lose fat and see the number decrease on a scale? Yes, of course you can, right? Can you lose weight and see fat loss? Marginally, sure, of course you can. But again, you're not going to measure fat loss by a scale.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can measure
Yes.
fat loss better in clothes and in performance. All right.
Yes.
So I used to think that the fasting thing was stupid.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm still not 100% on board with it. I do.
Like intermittent fasting?
Yeah, I do understand from a parasitic standpoint the value.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a natural chemotherapy almost. You starve it out. The parasites. You starve out those things that are causing the cravings and things like that. So from that standpoint, I get it. It's just to me, if your mental discipline isn't there, it's really hard to stick to. It's like quitting smoking cold turkey.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You never smoked, so you don't know what that's like. But I used to smoke way back, like in college, and I quit twice. And the first time I was on Chantix, and the second time I quit cold turkey after my divorce with my first wife, and that just took straight willpower. And I was the only reason why I was able to quit that time was because of the mental strength it took for me to get there. So, I think if a weight loss, and to me, that was my emotional response, but I was focused on driven behind the reasons for making a change, and so on and so on. So
Right.
reeling it back in terms of weight loss and fat loss and guides and things like that, it's a lot easier to go to the store in a brand new town if you have GPS, if you know where you're going, if you understand what you're trying to get, how much time you've got when you get there. Like, you know what I'm saying? No, the last thing you want to do is drag the kids to the grocery store when you're not sure how much gas you got, what the grocery store list looks like, and how much money you've got to spend.
Right.
You just know that you need to go to the grocery store. Like, that just spells a clusterfuck disaster. So.
Yeah. And I think
That's
people
a good analogy.
It was a good analogy.
Medicine speaking in. God. Can't wait to run out again. It's awesome. I feel stupid again for the last week of the month. It's fantastic. Anyway, sorry.
Well, and there's so much information out there too from doctors and influencers and Google where it's like, it just becomes overwhelming at a point like, well, which one should I be intermittent fasting? Should I be doing keto? And it's kind of like information overload. But what you need to know is that if your goal is truly to build muscle and lose fat, you cannot build muscle without enough calories. Right? You need the calories to be able to recover, to be able to push hard enough to do enough damage to the muscles to be able to recover. And then you need even more for the muscles to recover and grow.
Yeah. And don't mistake your performance in the gym setting for growing muscle. People be like, man, I kicked ass at this workout today. I did this, and this. Look at me go. That's not like, that's more of an endurance thing.
And
A conditioning thing.
It's different.
You want to build and get lean, and it doesn't happen that
at
quick.
boot camp.
That's why one night stands don't work. Think about it. You ain't just because you're good at knocking them boots don't mean you husband or wifey material. Check yourself, my boy. You know what I'm saying? Facts is facts. Anyway.
Which brings me to my next point that
what the hell?
Not the one night stand part. That if you're working out every day and not seeing any muscle growth, you think you're eating enough, well, then you're not probably lifting enough in order to build a muscle, right? So like, you're not going to get a muscular looking cut up arms and stuff from boot camp every day. That's going to help you with your endurance, right? But if what you're doing is more cardio based, huffing and puffing, lots of jumping and less moving weight, it's going to be a lot harder to build muscle.
Yes. But if you're talking about shredding down, I mean, look at Tom Hanks in Lost.
I never saw
that dude ain't got no damn calories ever. He went from Santa Claus to Freddy Krueger real quick.
I never saw that movie.
He was like, you didn't see that movie?
No.
Well, dude gets super ripped.
Oh, never mind.
Because he was like starving on a deserted island, right? Again, everybody's ripped underneath. That's just that's how God built the body. If the muscles are ripped, they're striated. That's but again, getting ripped to where you can see striations and stuff, and you can see tone, whatever the hell that word means. You can see it like you're not. That's not building muscle. You're deducting mass. You know what I'm saying? There's a again, there's a difference there. So like, if you were to go boot camping, the downside to that is there's a ceiling to it. Okay. And there is a point. It's like, that's your golden ticket. And no, I shouldn't say golden ticket. Let me back up. It's like that. If that is as extreme as you can get, let's just say boot camp style. If you put yourself in a position to be so well conditioned, right, and you're kicking ass in hard workouts, and you're just you're going after it, right? Eventually, you're going to have to shift gears to something that can stimulate. I think it was a hot term back in the day, shock the muscle, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's why they say that thing, because people jumped onto the boot camp world because the tangible value it had, leaving exhausted, and you feel like, look at me, I'm doing something. Okay.
Yep.
Regardless of what you're eating and this and that, the way you felt trumped
Mm-hmm.
it all. Didn't matter what you looked like. And again, think about that, the way you felt. This is why I said you have to look at what you were doing and why you were doing and whatever when the first aha moment came. How did it make you feel? Is it an
Mm-hmm.
emotional response? Is that what you say is why it's working for you? But
Mm-hmm.
if you end up going bonsai, if you're trying to lose weight, pounds, okay, and you understand that pounds is a general all-encompassing term that
Man.
that does not exclude muscle. It does not exclude organ weight, water retention, bone density, right? Shit, you jump
Mm-hmm.
on, unless you butt ass naked every single time in the same environment. And if you're a woman, same time of the month, like clockwork, if you don't start eliminating the variables, you're going to have a hard time really finding some consistency and using a scale as a measurement of progress.
Yeah.
So, you can get ripped down for sure doing those sorts of things,
Mm-hmm.
doing the boot camps and stuff.
Yep.
That's a way of doing things. But then again, so is throwing up your food.
Yeah.
So is fasting. So is this. So is that. So it's like, it's really about how you want to go after your goal and how you want to get out of the process.
Right.
Because don't get me wrong. If you're, let's just say you're wanting to lose 30 pounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're just you're from a couch warrior. You're just ready to roll it, right? Will you lose 30 pounds going to boot camp 5 days a week? Like eventually,
Yes.
yes, you will. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you can survive the first 3 days, and let's just say you don't change anything on the diet, you're still eating like an absolute and positive piece of shit. Will you lose weight? Sure. Sooner or later,
Mm-hmm.
sure. You will lose a whole lot of everything else too. I mean, one way to clean the house is to burn the motherfucker down. But do you really want to do that? Because then you're going to have to rebuild at some point. You got rid of the problem, but you also got rid of a lot of the solutions and you missed the point of it all in the first place. So,
Yes.
just keep that in mind.
Yeah. I mean, and a lot of people too think that they need to completely slash calories. They need to get rid of carbs. They need to like really go down to lower calories. And we've had so many clients. We have one that just did, she just finished the program that we built with these guides. And she used jeans as her marker, right? She took her measurements. She's like, I don't know, my measurements aren't really changing. My weight's not really changing. And I was not really sure that I was making any progress. But then I put these jeans on that didn't fit me and they fit me now. She goes, I'm wearing them on date night tonight. And so she has her before and after picture in the same pair of jeans, and you can see a world of difference.
I thought you were going to say took a picture of date night. I'm like, what the hell kind of picture is this? Shit.
No.
In jeans?
She used her jeans as her progress photos, which was really cool. And the whole time, we were working on increasing her calories. She was under eating before.
Yep.
And so as we increased her calories, her jeans were fitting better. And a lot of people miss that. They think that they have to keep cutting and cutting and cutting. And that's part of the problem. There's another one. We've posted her picture a couple times, but same
was she
thing.
Tracking her output? Her
From her
expenditure?
workouts? No.
So perfect example, like you can get progress doing things the right way from a programmable standpoint.
Yeah.
Which is what you were doing with her, right?
Yeah.
And if you're not sure, heart rate monitor will tell you more or less.
Mm-hmm.
You can always go old school cardboard formulas. You can get a metabolic assessment,
Right.
figure out how many calories you're burning out. And that'll tell you too.
Yeah. Another one, she was telling us, she's like, I can't believe I'm eating more carbs than I've like ever eaten my whole life. I slowed my workouts down a whole lot because she was one who was going to like the boot camp type workouts for years and years. She was, so I've slowed down my workouts. I'm eating more carbs and I'm like dropping fat and I'm seeing the muscle that I've been trying to do for months and have made no progress the other way that she was doing it. And it's with these exact methods because that's the thing that you're probably missing is that your workouts don't match your goal and you're continuing to cut calories when you really don't need to. And so, that's, and we already mentioned this, but that's those cutting calories doesn't always work because of what it does to your metabolism and the way that you're exhausting yourself and the way that you're kind of slowly doing damage the longer and longer you stay in such a deep deficit, right?
Yep.
And coming out of the deficit kind of wakes your metabolism up a little bit and gets it pumping again. So all that to say, those guides will walk you through exactly how to use all the methods that we just talked about and build your own program to reach those same kind of goals.
Yep.
Where you're stuck right now, what you're doing isn't working. This is going to help give you that quote unquote shock, right? That puts your body back in the state that you want it to be. Now, you can go get those guides on that link. They're free. Download them, use them, whatever. But you'll also see on that link some offers that are at a discount. And it's only at that link.
Yep.
But there's a done for you program. It's a 42-day program called Muscle Building Fat Loss, MBFL. It's got one of the bundles comes with protein. One of the bundles comes with fit kits. One of them comes with an entire home gym of fit kits, like all the fit kits we have plus protein.
Oh, yeah.
And they're at a better deal that you're going to find anywhere else. It's not on our website. It's not anywhere except for this link. So if you're someone who's going to go through the guides and do it yourself, great, good for you. Do that. They're free. That they're there to help you. If you're like, you know what, this is great. I believe in everything that you're saying, but give me the fast track. Like we've got the fast track too. It's already done. So if that's what you're looking for, go to the link right here, wherever you're watching it. We'll put it in the description and you can download those instantly. So that's it.
Yes. Good.
All right.
No, it's still recording. And mine it is. Still says it is. That's okay.